Kaza, and yeah, you just may as well go all in. And this is what BNK FearX really built themselves around last year.
They can't dive you if you're diving them.
Exactly. And they would just keep it simple. That's what the drafts were. That was alongside Ryu.
He's pushing away from him.
Yeah, and he missed out on experience, I believe, on that last minion. That's kind of crazy.
He's just getting full zoned, and Knight is...
And there is vision here as well, so Knight might just be able to solo kill him. The Raptor's getting involved, and there is...
It's coming through. If Shun stays, Clear is screwed, and he stayed. So he's flipping it. This is the top lane nightmare. When the wave is frozen on you, you cannot base in that...
There's a snare onto On, but he is just testing the waters, as Kellen has made his way up.
And On is going to actually look.
Flash out. Kellen knows that he's in trouble. Vault Breaker comes through. There's a seismic shot. For the world, as there's a headbutt from On to get him into the back of that Raptor pit. That is exactly where Vikla wanted to be before. And
600 gold lead plus in the top lane. Oh, hit 1,000 there. Knight's gonna kill him again.
That's a solo kill under an inner turret there, Azale. Let's see where the Knight can get. No, he's not going to be able to get out. So
he has, fallen a little bit behind as far as the CS is concerned, but doesn't want to.
There's the flash from Bin. Had that advantage. As now, let's see where the Clear can get himself out of the way. The answer is probably not. As there's the bonk, and Bin picks it up with an Empower.
Nicely done.
Himself a dragon.
Yep, and to talk a little bit about Knight, this guy has been racking up championships. Bin, though, is maybe going to be in some trouble, but he's going to fight in the wave. This is not an easy fight here.
There's the flash off the Vault Breaker here from Raptor. He does have cease and desist, so Bin is likely just going to die here. Does have the counter strike, but it's a good Vault Breaker to come on through. There's the cease and desist. Finally, they managed to take him down, and you could see just how dangerous that was.
Yeah, really. I mean, Raptor obviously didn't want to use the ult, but they're going to run more bot.
Yeah, in the meantime, there's a Pulverize onto Diablo. Great killer instinct to get himself out of the way as Pop Blossom keeps them all busy, but they just decide they'll kill Kellen. Down will go the Cal.
Miscommunication, because On was looking to combo Kellen.
In the meantime, though, we've got even more action. Is now On possibly in a little bit of trouble, but now Raptor finds himself among 3 people. The Cow even able to walk his way out as finally he will go down.
Try to play for these grubs. He's been very active on the map. I honestly really am impressed with how he's playing this. Navigating this Nico matchup is not easy, and they are now going to try to look to set up a dive.
Well, let's see where the Clear can find the perfect ultimate here as he does throw it out, but he gets blocked, and down will go the Ambessa with no real issues there at all. On turns up and grabs himself. As Vikla trying to get the shove out here as we don't get the snare onto Shun, but the wall comes through, gets the flash. Cease and desist, though, delivers Raptor all the way in. That's a great shove as there's the flash. Pop Blossom finding all 3 from Kellen, but Shun just gets out of there. The Cow grabs another one. Once again, as Shun just decides he wants to get himself out of there. Diablo is a little bit scary, and so you could understand it. As Kellen towards his bottom side of the map. In goes Raptor once again, looking to clear out some vision, but down comes Viper as well. Chains of Corruption does come in. Vikla's turned up at the same time, but Raptor, he's already dead, and Bin now joins the fight. It's a good cleanse there from Diablo, and he tries to keep himself alive, but he's out of this one, not exactly healthy enough to help out, and that is just a dead jungler and an almost guaranteed dragon here for BLG.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the dragon. Bin trades the flash and the TP for the cleanse. They're going to go for a dive.
That is a big old Realm Warp as they get the Pop Blossom off onto one of them, but Shun is pretty happy to tank things up. That's a kill for Viper, one for Bin as well, as Clear is at least able to keep things interesting, but he'll be going down. It's a double for his opposite number, and an ace for BLG.
It's a 15-minute ace in a 5v5 under your own tower here. BLG are leaving no doubts in this game. Absolutely stomping FearX here in game number 1.
And just didn't quite find the value that he was looking for underneath that turret. That Pop Blossom could have been devastating, but not to be the case. And now we're sitting at almost a 6,000 gold lead. We're heading towards blowout territory here in game number 1, as Raptor will be able to steal away a dragon. So there is at least that. Yeah, not too bad. No double dragon that I was worried. You know, the worrying sign hasn't begun. As we do have Shelly getting involved as well. She's going to get a headache, but it will be BLG taking down this outer turret in the mid lane, opening up the map completely. And BNK, what are we going to be able to do to find something? Well, we're just going to start more fights. That's going to be the plan. As let's see whether Raptor's going to be able to make this one work. Double Pop Blossom to come through from Kellen as he gets amongst it. But they're a little bit out of sync. And down will go the Nico. BLG just kind of weathering it.
Look at bot. No one is answering Bin. They moved everyone there because BFX realized this game is already cooked. You can't just sit and look for regular plays and play side lanes. You're going to bleed out. So they send everyone to try to really hard force this play. But BLG BLG are able to absorb it pretty easily. It does cause some flashes on Knight and Viper, so there's representation here. This is the first time we've seen a new mid laner from the LCK in forever, as Knight may be going to get dove here.
Yeah, there's a cease and desist. Pop Blossom comes on down there as he is delivered into the open arms of Diablo, and Raptor manages to tank up the turret successfully. Kellen probably didn't want to take that last shot, but now the rest of BLG are closing in. They do have a man disadvantage, though. And Bin has teleported forward. Clear turns up as well. All 5 of BNK are in the mix, but On keep himself available with that ultimate. There's the public execution, and Shun is going to take down Raptor. They look to try and get one back, as now Shun, is he going to be able to survive? Oh my god, he is. As now Vikla dealing with Bin as best he can by dying. That's kind of the only option you really have here, is now Shun chasing down Kellen, and he's dead as well. Yes, you managed to kill Knight.
To start off that fight, and he is just soloing 3 members in the back line. It's a fight that is dominated. It is a 20-minute Baron, and it is 21 kills for BLG before 21 minutes in. They both have that stasis here at pre-22 minutes. There's a locket completed. Viper's on 3 full items. So everyone is very, very strong at this point, and Shun don't have that international experience. You know, maybe haven't had as much experience traveling and playing at these big events, and they are going 2019 until Vikla qualified here, which is very, very cool. Obviously a tough game 1, but still, it's nice to see a new team, a new mid laner, new face kind of popping up here in the LCK and showing that they can actually mix it up with those legends who have been dominating that league for so long.
Yeah.
Top lane gets killed by an early gank. Tough for a jungler when both your solo laners are getting solo killed very early on in the game.
On the map. I mean, there is money to be made here for BNK if they can get towards these structures. As, oh dear, Kellen is going to be very, very dead, as that is going to be Viper with a last auto attack, and that will be able to take down the Nico. Not very lucky, not able to escape.
So there's so many tools that BLG have, and they can just throw everything at Diablo, because as long as Diablo isn't hitting, you have no damage.
Well, Bin is going to look for clear here, as he does have the ultimate available. Changes position as they take down Viper. This could actually be a good start to this fight, as now Knight has been separated as well. It is Diablo going for something a little more aggressive than he probably should, and now the Realm Warp is going to deliver. Bin,
and as a result, he dies, and as soon as Diablo's down, there's no hope left in the fight for them.
Yeah, let's have a look at it again.
Yeah, the angle is good. BLG are looking for a fight, and BFX say, hey, we can actually find something here. Raptor Q flash, they one-shot him, but then watch this. As Diablo, I think he cleansed nothing, but does get Q flash. Really nice setup there from On. Knocks him right into the waiting arms of Bin, into that counter strike.
And they'll be able to start creating a bit of an advantage from this buff. Is Diablo off to the side. We're going to try and take down some of these. We do have a bit of a collapse onto Shun. Vault Breaker comes down. There is the Weaver's Wall as well to block off the reinforcements, and the GA was popped. Down goes Shun. There is at least another one, but the counter-strike onto 2 from Bin. He makes his way into the back line, and pop goes Diablo. Man, he presses W, and people die. That is just what it looks like here as Knight teleports his way in. There is a reposition from Clear to try and keep them busy, but he is now just going to try and go for a bit of an escape here, and I don't know whether it's quite going to work, because now Bin just needs a couple more cooldowns, and Clear will just be dead.
Yeah, that is a level 18 Jax. That leap strike is a short cooldown, buddy.
At least he's level 18 and not level 20, because that would be worse. As all right, BLG going to break open the base here, and I think this might be the end of the game. 11,000 gold the lead, and just a couple of Nexus turrets to get BLG towards a 1-0 start in this best of 5. Pop Blossom only onto 1. That is not exactly what you want, as now Raptor just desperately trying to deal with the minions, but there are 2 cannons taking down these Nexus turrets, and down will go the Nexus here in game number 1. Utter dominance from BLG, as they will go 1-up in the series.
Damn, 29 kills in 29 minutes here. I thought we were lane. It's an AD jungler. You now have your essential dive squad there. You shield them up. You send them in. It is going to be Aurora as the option here for Knight. Knight is an absolutely terrifying Aurora. And when you are playing dive, you have 4 champions here. Well, 3 really.
Connect. But On turning up first is going to mean that things should be all right here for Shun, and stealing away Raptor's Raptors. This is always a problematic scenario, as Kellen looking to take On for a walk. Does manage to do so here, as some of these daggers are connecting, and it looks like the big Raptor will go over to Raptor this time. As, wow, anything you can do, I can do better, says Vikla, as he's immediately put into the bubble. The Molten Shield working out quite nicely, and Shun flashes away to keep himself alive, and there is first blood over tonight. Flashes out. maybe I missed the patch note. You can only teleport to minions in very scary positions with enemy teammates all over the place. I think that's maybe a change that must have happened.
They should try that one with the Zir. Maybe that'll get him. The large rod isn't working, so.
All right, well, there's level 6. Bear comes down, but there is Between Worlds already. Shun turns up, and Vikla dead once again. Knight sitting at 2-0 to start. BLG not wanting to try to contest this at all. That will be taken, so Hextech Dragon to be going down.
Playing barrier, and obviously has a lot of mobility built in. That, I think, is the real challenge for BFX, is can they really be picture perfect with their engages and delete one of those carries? And if they can, I think they have a real shot.
Well, 2 grubs do go over to BNK as Raptor smites away that one, and also, never mind. So it is going to be absurd. And with no flash to contend without a Vikla here either, I mean, Knight is going to be able to farm these plates in this mid lane.
Yeah, you got to be careful too, because when QE comes back up, he could flash and farm the champions as well. That is a risky recall.
Well, there is another fight here brewing towards his bottom side. Is now Viper in a lot of trouble. That is Kellen locking down that killer. Shun turns up, and finally Diablo gets one at the same time. Kellen, say that, BLG ticks up to join them. So this is some League of Legends that we have here. It was the win gets away with the ulti.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit crazy, I feel like, to be a very good Nefiri player.
Yeah.
As, you really have to play on that knife's edge, and Vikla down 2 levels.
Yeah, Bin is going to turn up. There is the Grand Starfall as well from Shun, and Vikla, I think, is dead, as he's just going to get fully charged up on that Q, and down he will go. Pantheon grabs another one, and Vikla sitting at 0-3-0. This is not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that it's the year of Vikla, but it's not looking like the year of Vikla here.
No.
It's the wrong hemisphere, perhaps. Something like that. I don't know.
Exactly. It's a time change thing. It hasn't yet ticked over to the year.
It's something like that. Clear, though, not looking like he's too worried about it. It's just going to eat the fish. And down will go on. Bin is still alive, though, and has that big old shield as he turns up. And I think they're going to have to sacrifice more than just Raptor here, as Clear is likely to be going down. And Viper is able to help Knight get a double here on this top side.
Relatively early on. And he doesn't have Tabby, so he's maybe not quite as tanky as he could be, but still, it's going to be very tough to crack. And Raptor just trying to zone them back, get more gold here for Diablo.
Yeah, man,
this really is their hope.
This turret could just be dead, as Diablo is just putting so many bullets in it. Finally, Shun is going to come on forward, and the bubble connects. And Diablo really wanted to kill that turret, does manage to get it from the grave, as in comes the train. Bin to lock down. Raptor here goes untargetable for a few moments and tries to keep himself alive. True Shot Barrage, not enough, but the spear will do it. And BLG, yeah, that was a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I mean, Diablo, we talk a lot about the positives, right? About how good he is at playing on the knife's edge. Sometimes he stabs himself with the knife, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that felt like a bit of an unforced one where, I mean, he's standing in the face of the Pantheon to knock down the turret. He did end up getting it, but he dies for it. Your mid lane turret dies for it. You are going to lose quite a bit. At the very least, they did get a tower back on top side as well, as Bin did move and Cleared stayed top. BLG will get a dragon, though, so they're going to stomp that soul stacking. Raptor died. And it is nearly a 3K gold lead now here for BLG. Fully in control once again. Flame complete now, so Knight's burst going to ramp up a ton. I think Kellen was just hoping that they could actually stop the base from Knight, but they're going to go for a dive.
Yeah, they're going to look to try and take down this turret first as Knight goes between the worlds and tries to escape. He should be able to, oh, never mind. Taken out here as it's a kill for Raptor after taking down the turret at the same time. Bin forced to flash away, but Ingo's Clear looking for an opportunity. Slice and dice and manages to pick up Shun. As now Bin not long for the world. The bubble doesn't connect. As Bin takes a bit of killing, but he'll go down in the end. And there is the BNK. In that mid lane had nothing to charge into. And so just the timing on that fight so bad for BLG as Between Worlds Knight goes once again. But this time he is in a whole lot of trouble. Tibbers is getting a whole lot of work done here underneath this turret. As down goes Shun one more time. Plates are just evaporating from this inner turret. And Vikla survives with just barely any health. I think he deserves that one after dying 3 times in a row in the early game. It's True Shot Barrage. He's dead.
Oh, caught
I should never say it, man. Yeah. I should never say it.
Once he gets the IE, well, the clock kind of strikes 10, right? Like, that is where it is really tough.
Well, now he is in the front line. Does have to flash. As Between Worlds he goes, and Knight is able to take down Diablo. Yeah, that was not what you envisioned of the fact that this is happening. As Vikla trying to charge up that stun, he will have it available. As now Clear trying to get himself amongst it. Raptor able to bounce over this wall at any moment. And so they do have to have their fingers on the smite button, or at least Shun does. As there's a knock-up actually on to the Nefiri as in he goes, down to 1900, 1500. That is going to be the Baron secured by Shun. And over the wall goes...
Cost you that fight, that cost you the Baron. He lost his flash too, so now they're not even going to have that for the next fight. So at the very least, they will be able to move towards soul points, so that is something for them if they can continue to wave clear through these next couple of minutes during that Baron buff. But I really like how BLG actually secure the Baron. Bin can tank it up forever, so they're not really...
For the next few minutes, as this Rift Scuttler is going to be taken. Raptor a little bit in a rough spot, as now we've got Knight going between worlds, but he's in a rough position himself as Bin makes his way forward. There is the tidal wave as Raptor is out of there. My goodness, the damage is ridiculous, but On is going to get taken down. Raptor, sorry, Diablo getting excited. Shun in so much trouble. Look at this guy, he's just firing from everywhere on the map. A triple already for the young 80 carry. There's a Quadra making a penta for Diablo here at First Stand 2026.
Oh my God, Diablo with a penta to kick it off. That's the game.
That should be it. We were saying he should probably wait until that flash is available. Never mind. Let's just get a pentakill and call it a day from there, evening up the series to bring us to a best of 3 between BLG and BNK. And this is what we wanted to see from this young squad. As BNK, they came to play. Those sillies well and truly shaken out. And the Nexus is also going to be taken down here as well. Wasn't the greatest out of Vikler in the early game, but it is Diablo finishing it off. And BNK able to make their mark in this best of 5.
And this is just, it's beautiful to see them bounce back in that way. They got absolutely destroyed in game 1.
Yeah.
Some things were definitely going wrong in game 2, but they continue to stay proactive. They continue to look for plays. To look
and you all in and they die.
Yeah,
and that's how it works. Otherwise, it's horrible.
Pre-6, I feel like it's such a bad matchup, though, that I'm always kind of
name a matchup that isn't a bad matchup into Seraphine Ash.
Well, I mean, a lot of the good ones are gone, right? That's kind of the issue here. You're also going to have the issue of
for BNK's chances.
And this is a big change for, oh gosh, that's not good.
Vikler may start his dying a little bit early this time around, wants to get it out of the way, and there is another first blood for Knight.
Diablo and Kellen with the push thus far, which is kind of at least to my expectation. And we'll see, you know, if they are going to be able to find this wraparound, though.
Oh, yeah, Shun making his way in. Viper looking a little worse for wear. There's the flash forward. They want to just try and kill him before this one even happens. The flash out of the way is now Viper able to be taken down here by Diablo. Avoids the turret. It is going to be a 1-for-1. But Diablo, I think, pretty happy with picking up the first one here for BNK.
No kidding. I mean, Viper has, I'm just going to say he's played horribly in these first 2 games, and now in the third as well. It feels like some pretty big mistakes. I mean, you think back to Ana's going to die.
Yeah, he's a Yuumi. He doesn't.
His barrier.
Yeah, his barrier's already there. He canceled the auto attack, so that's not great. So he's dead.
Okay, well, he does base. They're going to try to make this go really long. He is there behind him.
Yeah, there's a paranoia. Flash comes on forward here as there is no ulti from Clear, so he couldn't get himself over the wall. So that's a 1-for-1. The safety of the turret. There's no kill, but it is still a lot of pressure put on here by BLG.
Yeah, and that is that level 6 advantage for On. He has the ult where Kellen does not. So even once they get the cleanse off Viper, there's no encore to come through. That meant that Diablo had to flash away. So a good bit of pressure in the enemy jungle. A pink there down on that bot side as well.
Oh, arrow connects from downtown. Paranoia comes through once again. It's Clear. He can't take the turret for much longer than that, but he doesn't need to as Raptor will take the last one, and down goes the Rumble. This time, the dive worked.
Diablo setting it up from downtown.
He was actually in the bottom lane. That was insanity.
Yeah, actually look behind me. I heard him yell out Kobe on the stage, and the rest is history.
Yeah, there we go. Beautifully done. That is going to be the first turret taken down as well. So BNK a lot more money, but now BLG to try and fight back. There's the Cyclone onto Diablo. He flashes out of the way. A great encore here from Kellen defensively as the final chapter comes down, but I don't know about that timing as Viper throws in his ulti as well, and now Clear comes in with a huge shield, but Knight's down as well. The charm is going to miss though, and Diablo is doing his very best to get out of the way of every ability thrown at him. And
so deep, right? They had taken the top lane tier 1, so they got first tower. He had pushed it all the way to tier 2. He's going to be losing plates now. It is Vikler looking like he's going to go up and answer that. So there is a cost to this. Bin is going to get some money, but still, you get down towards the bot side, you get that dragon, that's going to feel nice.
Well, you got an exhaust down onto Raptor, who flashes out of the way. Over the wall goes Viper, though, and oh dear, the shutdown comes in. It's not a kill for the Zeri. It's on their terms that he's going to be able to win. So tempo going to be such a huge thing in this game. As Vikla, I don't know about that position as he flashes to get himself out of the way. There's a paranoia as they just turn it onto Raptor. Does have that shield. It's, oh dear, okay, that is a lot of damage as they go 1 for 1. Now the flash on in as Viper looking for it onto Diablo, but he has the shield. He had the barrier. And Kellen's able to pick up the kill. Now the cat doesn't have a friend anymore. There's a fight on the bottom side of the map as well. Picture
strong, but Viper just looking a bit out of sorts as Diablo just popped that barrier. They're going to try to run down
Maybe if you've got a name
Vikla.
that starts with V, it's just a bit of a rough day. As we can see, Vikla down the red carpet and will just be dead. On is going to steal that kill away. We're all about not giving kills over to the right people in certain circumstances. That's sort of how it's been going here. As BNK looking to try and answer here in this mid lane. It's a decent cross map as the extender beam not going to be enough to take down these minions, so it should be BNK able to open up the map here with this mid lane out of turret.
Yep, that is great. Going to be able to knock down Vikla out of the fight. And Vikla, his positioning has not been perfect by any means. They're going to look for a dive.
Yeah, he may just be dead as the riposte does come on through, but it's not going to do anything at all. However, he has the ulti down. That is so many stacks, and that's a flash needed from Knight to get himself out of the fight. And Shum's going to be taken out. The revenge of Vikla has happened. And now Knight is going to have to try and get himself out of the enemy jungle.
Might be time to check your clocks because it's looking like it's the year of Vikla.
I'm looking at my calendar. We had a little bit of a moment at the beginning of the day, but it was just the wrong timing. Knight will be taken out. Raptor is able to finish that one off.
Yeah, Vikla used the reflect so early. I thought he was going to get killed for sure, but then Knight missed the charm.
So, Mountain Drake, it's going to be a Mountain Soul this game, and I think that if BNK managed to get a Mountain Soul, it might just be game over, because I don't know whether anyone... As Rich Herald may just die again. Never mind, does manage to get a charge, but there's the final chapter. Not exactly doing too much of anything at all. Clear making his way in with the teleport. Let's see whether this wraparound is going to work as he finds a great flank angle, pushes the Wukong out of the way as the Q doesn't land from Vikla, but Knight is kind of out of this fight, and Clear is just kind of by himself and not taking damage.
Yeah, not taking damage, but not really doing any either. BLG do get pushed back, but it was the TP off Clear for really not much of anything.
Well, not yet anyway, as they're continuing to fight here. There's the all-out as Shun getting pulled back. The equalizer is fantastic as Raptor is just going to get taken down. The volley is hurting a little bit here, but it's BLG that draw first blood in the fight as Vikla gets in, finds the overwhelm to take down
The entire way around. And Diablo, though, as we're back to live.
Oh
Looking
my
for
goodness,
1v2.
it's 3 people here, Diablo. What are we doing? That was great that this is happening. And in fact, Knight might check it, but this is gone.
It is gone. But we'll see the fight after because now they know, and BLG are coming, but Bin has his TP. They're going to go.
Yep, Extender Beam does come on down. As we do have a snare, that is going to hold them in position. Final chapter does come on forward as they're looking for the Wukong, but he gets stunned up, just destroyed by Vikla. And now, BLG also going to lose the fight. They get on in there. Knight takes so much damage as Diablo just shoots him. And yeah, they managed to take down the Ashe, but Diablo's not the main character this time around as it's a triple for Vikla. It happened. As now Clear, we were talking about his immortality. We do have a dragon up and available for BNK. That'd be Soul Point, and Double Mountain is already just so many stats to try and get through on this Cassante.
You know, next game, maybe he could ask Knight for a quick 1v1, get solo killed before the game starts.
That's an in-practice tool.
In-practice tool, exactly. That would be crazy.
That'd be the tactic. We'll have to let Vikla know. As Shun looking for a little bit of a wraparound, should be able to get into position as the equalizer is good from Bin. At the same time, the encore is also fantastic. It's another kill as Vikla goes godlike. They get into the backline. The Mel is taken out as it's a double for the Zeri and make that one a triple. Never mind. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you make as long as you find your window to get that certification. It can work as he does need to be a little bit careful here as the bottom lane are still alive. Bin needs to find some of these harpoons. Look, Diablo just wants to walk up. It doesn't matter the scenario.
His sidesteps have been so good. Sidestep a couple skill shots in a row there, but BLG retreating away into this tower are going to be able to knock that down. It was a great reflect from this one from Vikla. He got a reflect on the charm onto Knight. Knight got charmed up, got burst down early on. So even with that equalizer that looked pretty much perfect from Bin, This fight is just continuing.
Situation.
Equalizer is back.
Yeah, Equalizer does come down. It's not doing a whole lot.
Knight
as his inner turret is also down. Kellen has to tank up the prowling projectile. Bin looking a little worse for wear, but gets that flame spitter onto Diablo. And now Knight is back like you were talking about, but so is Vikla looking to try and take down Bin. He just explodes at the start of this fight, but it's 2 for Knight. Just dashes after them and takes them down in what was the weirdest League of Legends I'd seen in a really long time. Now as Vikla continues the fight, there is a Foxy lady for On to join with, and now back on over to Viper as final chapter's up again. And now Shun looking for a little bit of an angle. 7 seconds on that Cyclone as you've got Raptor coming in. Does make them a little bit afraid as Viper gets himself back into position. And Raptor is the target they're looking for. He dashes over the Cyclone and Vikla does it again! Viper just explodes one more time! Same thing to be said though as the Mel is taken down, as this is one of the longest team fights I have ever casted in my life as they've respawned and they're back into it once again. This time it's Clear going all out against BLG. Yep, that's a good way to do it.
He's got it, and Infinity Edge done for both the Diablo and Viper. Damage really has ramped up. Viper has not really looked very...
That's on cooldown. She's not going to be able to enter the fight, and then you kill everyone else. That is kind of the theory.
You can see Viper now on 5 to deal with for the Charm. There's also the Mikhails now. It is going to be very difficult for Knight, and he has been struggling in this game.
Vikla doesn't have a lot of buttons left, but Viper once again goes in, and his health bar just evaporates. As there's the paranoia, you can see Raptor still looking for an opportunity. For the rest of BLG, they do collapse around their AD carry, but Clear just says no. Just kills Bin. In goes Shun, and just down to his GA immediately. BNK just taking them down one after the other as finally Viper goes in, finds one, but then Diablo stands his ground and murders him. On this time, he's not going to survive, and it's a multi-kill, a quadra for the Kasante of Clear.
Clear saw what Diablo did, what Vikla did. He wants to get involved too. How about a quadra for Kasante and a win for FearX?
What the heck was that? Brilliant team fighting here from BNK. They'll take down this mid inhibitor once again. And one more time, it is just a waltz through the mid lane in order to take down the Nexus. BNK reaching match point in their first best of 5 of First Stand 2026.
What a way to do it, man.
Oh my, that's not how it's never been expected.
Look how low commitment they are. They saw Renata and they say, oh, you want us to fight? Well, that's funny. Just going to be able to press. Okay, so we are going to get Galio as the answer to LeBlanc. I like this. I like it even more. And it's like, what are they going to do? Flash into the cage? Like, you should be able to get out, but we'll see if Vikla.
Yeah, Vikla is going to channel the taunt here. It does taunt up the tree, but is now running the wrong direction. So I think it might be another First Blood scenario. This time going, oh, never mind. Okay, Justice Punch. Vikla is wandering.
Don't speak too soon.
He's wandering. Oh no, the sapling. Run! Run, Galio! Is it going to hit? It does. He's slowed down, and there is the twisted advance. A very delayed First Blood, but once again, Vikla is on the floor.
But Knight didn't even get an assist, so now you just call jungle diff.
Oh! Value.
Exactly.
That's the progression. He dies again, but not to his lane opponent.
It's the jungler's fault. Raptor, come on, bro. Knight didn't even get an assist. What are you talking about?
Wait, he just delivered Shun to the top lane, and now Clear is dead. What is that? Okay, and Bin is able to get himself out. And look to move away. Raptor and Vikla now looking for this scuttle crab at Knight in good position. Does dash on forward, finds some chains. We've got fights on multiple angles, though, as the Gnar comes through onto Bin. And now you've got Kellen roaming up as well. Let's see whether he can find himself an angle, as Raptor going to be the first target here for BLG. But the King's Tribute, the subjugation working out so well. Knight finally will be able to take him down.
Listen, it kind of feels like as long as Diablo is in a decent spot, you have a chance, right?
Is Diablo alive? Chance we have. Yeah,
exactly. That's the code.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And right now he is, but he's in this bottom lane. Let's see what he can make of this, though, as the Arc of Judgment comes down. Decent polymorph there from On, but I think he knows that he's going to be going down. Hostile takeover not really working, though, and there's the wild growth onto himself. Viper now in a little bit of trouble. Facing BLG to stop killing their side lane turrets is going to be their task.
It will. First Dragon going to be taken first and die. And lose the Maiden, so could be a bit harder for Viper, who I think has struggled to find space.
Well, Viper is looking for a little bit of an angle here. Aggressively uses the barrier as they look to try and get this Lulu out of there. The flash out, but the flash forward from Diablo as he locks down the kill. The immediate trade, though, comes in as Knight says, no, this is World Championship.
Well, you have to convince him not only that, because we've tried that before, but you have to convince him it's like finals or something.
Whoa, that's a flash forward. There's the handshake as he finds the hostile takeover. Never mind, flash out from On to avoid that one as now the pillar comes in. Great wild growth as Raptor has to flash to get himself out of the way. Viper is still very scary. The flash wizard advance comes in. The bailout isn't going to be enough. Yes, it is! As Knight is eaten by the Trundle. But the nature is grasping and they're looking to try and answer this one back. Viper with these ricochets is trying to take them out, and Diablo, he survives for a while but doesn't even get to the blast cone as BLG will answer.
BLG, you just started to think, oh my god, are they actually going to win the fight here? Vikla going back in on, but you got no one around you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, as Clear is going to show up, but he's back into Minina as he turns up, and Viper is getting another kill. 2-1 and 2 now.
Do win the fight, and Bin going to be able to knock down a tower here, so nearly 4,000 is the gold lead now.
Well, now Knight is going to have to deal with this pillar. Let's see whether he's going to be able to keep himself alive, and they just kill him. He was trying to be a little bit tricky there, but we're going to have a look at it. He's going to keep hitting it, though.
I think you will be able to grab it, but Bin is coming as well, and Knight has no DP because he used it to try to get out.
I think maybe they want to find a team fight as a heroic entrance is going to deliver them in. That's phenomenal avoidance there out of Shun as Viper dashes his way back. He doesn't dash, he just wanders his way back. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana though, is now Clear, looking to try and get himself out, and that is the Rift Herald going over to BLG. So like you said, speaking too soon can be dangerous. I'm going to wipe the egg off my face and we will continue the game. As BNK lose out on the objective, but they do not lose any of their players this time around.
Nope, they do not, and they will be able to knock down this tower here. BLG getting another outer. Bin is up towards that top side, and Vikla is basing. There's no TPs available, so top side tower is going to be gone as well. Knight is up there to cover, so is Shun. So that is all three outers now going to be claimed here in quick succession by BLG. About 5K now in the gold lead, and 3.5 until this next, as well as Polymorph, which can be so big with how aggressively Diablo likes to go. He will be in range of that.
Oh, there's a chain connecting onto Raptor. He gets a pillar down though, as you can see Vikla making his way in. Distortion does get Knight out of the way though, so he is going to be absolutely fine. It was a little bit of a bait attempt, you could imagine, out of Raptor there. They do manage to get the subjugate out of him, but this outer turret is going to fall, and BNK going to take so Diablo agrees. That's why he went back to change the build.
Wait, you can just do that? You can just get an Infinity Edge like that?
Well, Vikla did realize that he could leave via a flash, but Nature's Grasp is still going to connect, even though he buffered the Justice Punch very, very well. Still, this is a very sticky Maokai, and the Polymorph comes on down a very dead Galio now.
Tower, and will not be an objective bounty as that has fallen, but is going to be some more gold going into their pockets, trying to keep Clear relevant, because he's going to have to be able to answer York eventually in these side lanes. Here's TP.
Yeah, BLG making their way up. Going to leave Shelly in that bottom lane. She's the one that's split pushing now as Knight gets over. Looks for them distortion damage as Bin trying to get on in there as Shun. That Bramble Smash was massive. The Maiden, the only one hit by the hostile takeover, as Shun not really getting a whole lot done with that wild growth thanks to On. As now Diablo doing his best to get the DPS numbers high, but the rest of his team are just getting obliterated. However, we're trying to make our way out is Vikla, but not able to heroically exit that one. The Winds of War from the grave helping out as now Diablo tries to stand his ground, but it does not work. And they just eviscerate them. BLG, a huge team fight towards the top side, and once again, there is a Baron waiting for them.
Right by the Baron, they're going to knock this down as well. That fight was a mess from BFX here, as Diablo, he got blast going over the wall. I'm not sure if that was intentional.
I don't think
looked like they were kind of hesitating there. He got knocked away from his team, and then the hostile takeover from Kellen is thrown only at Bin, only hits the Maiden, when all of BLG were running up a tight corridor right to the side of him.
I feel like there was a better opportunity.
Sub 100 health before the heal came through. But at the end of the day, it is another BLG win here. They're going to grab the Dragon, move to Soul Point. And this one feels all but wrapped up for BLG, which would set us up. Take a breather.
There was a pit stop in there at some point. Ouch. All right, yeah, that's a lot of damage out of Viper as Kellen throws out the hostile takeover. Vikla trying to look menacing. That may keep his bottom lane alive, but maybe not for long as they do manage to avoid the Nature's Grasp. But yeah, Clear not exactly so lucky.
He just flashed into the Nature's Grasp.
Yeah, kind of broke my brain.
I'm not sure if he was trying to...
As the inner turret will now be taken down. It is just clear that's dead, but the health bars were way too low. So BLG will be able to just push this one in.
Kind of like that movie, you know, watching a movie and someone sacrifices themselves and you're like, you all could have just left.
Yeah, like
that's fine. like, no, I'll stay behind. Like, what do you mean?
We have 15 minutes having the last conversation. It's like, dude, just get on the plane.
We can leave at any time. No one has to die here. No, I'll do it. I love you.
Oh, it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
All right, some of those are beautiful moments, though. Let's have a look, see whether BLG are going to have their moment as they look to push in a couple of lanes. Handshake is going to connect. That's decent, but the problem is there's not a whole lot of options here as Knight can just dash in with impunity. And Diablo, he's within kill range here. If Knight ever gets in range, that is just a dead Yunara, and then BNK's composition just falls apart.
It does, and we'll see if they're going to be able to find any way into this. It doesn't really feel like there's a realistic chance, though. They don't have any sort of real hard engage. I do think that the Renata has really struggled to find value. Clear going to try to look here for Viper.
All right, bit of a gargoyle delivery here as Vikla comes on in as well, but they don't find too much joy with the knockups as Viper is just kiting Clear out of the way, and he just dies. The wild growth is fantastic there as well as BLG front to back as they put them down again. It's a triple here, make it a quadra for Viper this time as he has finally arrived at First Hand 2026, and BLG will deliver us some silver scrapes, the very first best of 5, and we go the distance here as the Nexus will go down.
Absolute banger series, starting it off, your LCK, LPL.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different angles we can go. This is flexible too. And Jace could even be mid.
Jace jungling?
Jace is mid. No, Jace is mid. So I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be Poppy jungle, Morgana support, Jace mid, and Camille top is what I'm thinking, but maybe Rakan cannot battle dance away, cannot get out to safety. And nice little grand entrance there from Kellen, well timed, and a good sidestep.
Yeah, avoiding that Peacemaker was kind of crazy. As there is a flash on forward as Diablo with the barriers trying to keep himself alive, lit on fire as they realize that they've just got to go all in if they're going to win this. But there's first blood! Diablo saves Vikla!
On the roam.
With a Randuin's in hand as well, which is kind of fun. Bubble is going to connect onto Shun as Battlestar lands as well. Heroic charge though, and yeah, he's gonna have to get out of there. Gets shielded up, the double battle dance, and he gets out! That's not the Vikla I know, but Raptor is going to pick up his mantle.
Going bad
Is it getting better, is it? Is it going to get better? Well, hookshot comes on forward. Lightning Rush is not going to save Clear here as he will go down. There is the answering kill though, as On is going to be taken out by Raptor. All right. Let's, Raptor, gonna face check, and there is a shock blast from Bin as well. Flash out, decent, avoids it to the skies, but once again, On is here, and this time Knight is gonna be the one to take down the kill. Raptor is going to be secured, and BLG continuing to be in the lead as far as these kills are concerned, but the fighting is just not ceasing.
Nope, and Raptor, you know, he's bringing the camps to Shun. He is the camp at this point. Shun does not want to fight, and he is not going to have to.
All right. Kellen going to have to flash to get himself out of the way, but the heroic charge is going to be there, and Shun just lays the lollipop down. Game for a little while. Trying to keep her down is going to be very, very important. Is Q going to connect there onto On? There's the bubble as well. Steadfast presence is pretty good. The Battlestar goes wide though, and now Diablo doing his best to keep the damage up. There's the knock-up, but the follow-up just isn't there. On still ticking. One last one not going to be enough as Knight is able to take down Raptor. Shun limping his way out as well.
But allowing him to bully this lane.
Yeah, Kellen is going to turn up and at least try to protect Clear for the moment, but the grand entrance is avoided. He flashes in. Bin is going to die, and that was probably a mistake. But I do like the vibe, you know, the idea,
that was
the gusto.
bold.
Yeah, Kellen's now really dead. On's going to be able to lock down that kill. And keep coming here from BLG. Even though BNK pretty happy to have another kill on the board.
Yeah, they are very happy to be gifted that kill by Bin. That was crazy. I think he could have even just walked back. I don't even know if he had to flash back in that case.
Yeah.
But instead, he tried to flash over, and I don't know if he was trying to make a big
He did
outplay.
successfully flash over the grand entrance.
He did, and now he's going to be able to force out the TP because they had delayed the base there, so Clear has to TP back to base as he sees Bin coming in from the side. But yeah, I'm not sure if that was a mistake or something he was trying to go for an outplay, flash over, and then one shot clear. Maybe that's what he was kind of thinking in his mind. But clear has ulti, and you're going under the tower, so you're just going to get CC'd up. The wave gets cleared out, and he does get taken down. But still, it is an over 2,000 gold lead.
Well, now a teleport towards this bottom side of the map as Knight is going to be showing up. There is the snap trap as Kellen able to survive here as well. In goes on, but
there. And BLG going to take a dragon as the prize on the other side. Again, it's that first dragon, so we're not looking for
BLG. And I think already this is a composition it's strange. It feels like a very Game 5 of Fearless type draft. Oh my goodness, Kellen's just dead.
Yeah, he got locked down by that CC.
Oh no, it's not a time to get sleepy, Ben, as the paddle star comes on forward. And the auto from Vikler is going to be enough to take him down in the end there. So B going to be building some stuff in the base.
Yep, and Ben is behind him, but both junglers are here.
Yeah, there's the slicing maelstrom one more time. Let's see whether Kellen can get here in time as the ulti misses from Shun, and that is going to be the end of Ben. Clear goes in, finds it. There's the quickness as well. As the trouble bubble comes down, everyone's joined as Vikler dashes forward and finds the angle. Knight trying to do what he can as he's got the tether out, but Raptor gets out, breaks those chains, goes back in and destroys him. Viper, though, he's going to be able to find some pot shots as On will knock them all out, and Raptor looking for that angle, but Viper just shoots him. A gun is going to be the answer here as Kellen going to have to make his way out.
Nice initial play there from FearX, but BLG are able to respond to it. Diablo is pushing down on bot side. They're trying to get something else here, but Viper just got paid. Is going to be able to knock down this tower. Will be first tower. All that gold going into Viper's pockets. He's now, and yes, Kellen is trying to peel Viper, but Viper is largely uncontested. He's walking forward. He's autoing. They just don't have the spells. They don't have the cooldowns to actually really threaten the Caitlyn at this point. So you won the early part of the fight, and someone made an oopsie.
Yeah, I think Shun just, is it? Oh, we didn't even see! As Kellen going in and tries to get himself out. He is going to be successfully able to do that. On is dead as Knight, one more shot will do it. That deadly flourish wasn't enough, but it is going to be the shutdown over to Vikler. Immediately that one's answered though, as BNK are finding it. It's Viper that's down. Shun is just going to evict Raptor, but Clear is still here.
Mikhail's, so that is going to be ready and really powerful. Shun going to drop the Battle Herald.
Yeah, let's see whether Shun can actually steal this one away, as he's not going to be able to do that, but On goes in, finds the Hextech ultimatum, and now Shun is going... But On's already dead, and
himself, so a little bit more mobility to be able to, either dodge a skill shot or to get in there on these fights.
As Hextech ultimatum comes down, as On is underneath the outer turret in mid lane. He is going to die, but he takes Diablo with him. Now Clear looks for the angle. They do take another kill, as now Clear is trying to find even more. The Sonic Wave doesn't quite land, but that W did so much work out of this cannon. Viper is going to be able to take him down in the end, as Vikler needs to do what he can. Viper finally will fall, but not before picking up a triple kill. And Vikler always had to go back to that portal jump, so Bin is going to put him in the ground. And BLG, the last team standing in that one.
Yeah, it's an ace at the end.
BNK need to be fighting around windows where they land a trouble bubble, get a pick, something like that. They're looking for a pick here on Tonight, but he has that black shield. There's the tether as well. Shun's going to make his way in. Doesn't quite get the stun onto Kellen, as now they look for it. There's the slicing maelstrom from Clear, but he's likely to go down, as it's the Caitlyn in once again, and the consistent damage that we were talking about is Viper in this game. He picks up a double, and I think he heard the people talking about the first 3 games of this series, and he is looking absolutely fantastic in this one. 8-3-3.
And that could very well be Baron. Are they going to start it? They're not going to elect to just yet. I mean, they killed Raptor and Clear had no TP, so I thought they might have looked for it, but they want Vikler.
Yeah, that is Ace in the hole coming on down. Vikler is very dead, ladies and gentlemen. Over the wall goes On, and that is Viper able to grab that pod shot to make it 9-3-3.
I mean, he's going to have an E on base, so that is incredibly difficult to deal with. It's Hextech Soul that would be on the table. This is just their second dragon. I don't even know if we're going to get there, but he's over 4,000 gold ahead individually. We're 21 minutes in. He's going to base. He's going to have IE. He's going to be on his way to the next item there, where you're going to start seeing defensive items coming through, luxury items coming through.
Unfortunately.
Much to BLG fans' dismay.
Indeed. Well, Kellen possibly caught out here. Does have the quickness in order to get himself out, but Viper is absolutely on a rampage.
One fight has to be, the best possible opportunity you can find.
Well, this inner turret is not long for the world. That will be taken down. Some Deadly Flourish poke is coming on through. But the
so they are spotted in the area. I don't think there's any chance they can actually steal this away. They just don't have any damage, right? Like, who's going to kill the Baron, even if you go for a Baron sneak?
Let's go a little bit wide there momentarily, but Shun just kind of by himself is a wall that BNK cannot get past.
He's level 15. He is higher level than Vikla, and he is not threatened.
Hextech Ultimatum does come down, and I think that on, no, never mind, not going to die, just going to take a nap. And
that's one shot.
Yeah.
One auto onto Vikla, and he loses half his health.
Well, on going in once again as Kellen, speaking of, yeah, he is just very dead. Shouldn't going to be able to help lock down that one. Shock Blast.
This is where they draw the line in the sand.
Let's see whether they can find the angle. The Raptor's not going to be able to get here, so they're not going to be able to steal this one away. That is going to be the Puppey locking it down.
It's just going to be a given up soul, not even going to try to contest, but now it is going to be Hextech soul. It's Baron, it's 10K in the lead. So by the time they actually take a fight, I just think there's not going to be any fight to have, you know? Everything is going to be finished as far as these luxury items, as far as these defensive items are concerned.
Well, it is feeling like a priceless moment here for BLG as they do hit that coveted soul. Out goes on as well. He is going to be able to keep himself alive. I just don't see there being much of an angle to get back into this one for BNK FearX, unless there is some sort of miracle. That inhibitor did not last very long at all.
Kelvin almost got one shot by a Caitlyn auto. He lost about 90% of his health.
Yeah. Headshot rapid fire cannon combo is just kind of absurd when it does come on through. Shun just clearing out all of the vision here as well. Even the turrets just dead. Vikla, speaking of which.
Yeah, I mean, they just, whoa, that was actually close.
That portal jump scared me a lot.
They just can't even walk forward. They're just giving up everything. I mean, you can't give up every tower, everything, though, and expect to really have a shot. But there's not really a clear way in. They have no vision. I mean, look at the map. There's no wards at all. They have nothing on the map, so they have no way to go for a TP, and you cannot win a fight where you're walking straight at them. Just look at these shock blasts. It's crazy.
Well, Clear is looking for an angle here, but Vikla is very dead. And there's the Dark Binding connecting. Clear in by himself. And will be able to do a bit of damage, but I don't think he's killing anyone as the rest of BNK, they try their very best. Diablo stays alive, but he's the only one able to post that as Raptor is going to get caught, tries to do some funny business in order to get himself out. But I think that was the last gasp here for BNK FearX, and BLG in 5 games will be able to take the first best of 5 of this tournament and look to continue on in the upper bracket. It's not the last you've seen of BNK FearX, but it was a long one. They made sure that BLG fought for it, but it will be the LPL first seeds taking the first series, the first stand.